Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today's a very special day because we're here with Roger Osborne on an epic fishing adventure. Today is a day that I can learn from a pro and share it all with you guys. So if you've been liking my videos, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Now let's go catch some fish.
This looks like paradise here, Jet.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Isn't it amazing? Like, you walk around the corner, we're on one side and it's like quite cold and windy.
Yeah.
We've come around here, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
How awesome. I reckon we're good here, Jet.
Yeah, I reckon as well.
I reckon it's a good spot to fish.
Yeah.
Now, Jet, I'm just going to explain to our friends who are watching this video what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we're on the edge of a lake. The deep water's not that far out, but we have a bit of weed just out from the shore. How about we walk out a little bit, Jet? So if we cast the burley out too far, then it may take the fish away from us, because if the wind blows it, they'll follow the food, hey?
Yeah.
So I've actually wet this a little bit. This is the crust, and I'm breaking it up into smaller pieces, and I'm going to just chuck some out there like that, and it's floating on the surface. Even though I did wet it a bit, what we should do is watch it, because it probably will go that way. So I think what I should do is actually toss it that way a little bit, so that it ends up coming down here. So I'm going to chuck some up that way. I just might mush up a little bit more, make it so it sinks a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you caught other fish on bread other than mullet?
Yeah, I've caught brim.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I've only caught brim and mullet.
Okay, yeah,
on
well,
bread.
brim definitely like bread.
Yeah.
That's for sure. You know what, one time I was fishing in a lake like this with a float like we're going to do today, and I caught a snapper.
Really?
Yeah, on a bread.
Oh.
Because snapper are they're like a brim, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think it's actually over there. Hey, look, something's touching it. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Can you see that? You can see the brown bit of bread out there. I'm just going to chuck that out there. See where that landed?
Yeah.
There's a piece of bread. Oh look, just here.
Yeah.
That didn't take very long.
No.
We've actually just seen some fish on the surface. So if they're on the surface, Jet, then they would be mullet, hey?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. Okay, Jet, you've got a few goodies in your hand that I gave you. So the first thing we need, Jet, is this little piece of rubber.
So what does the rubber do?
What does the rubber do? Well, first of all, I'm going to put it in my mouth. Just wet it.
Yeah.
That goes on the line first. It's a stopper for the float, and that you can set the depth. So what I've just done is I've just put my line through that piece of rubber, and once you put it through once, you bring the line around and put it through a second time. I'll just grab it there. So you can see like it's a loop. I won't tighten that yet. Can you see that loop of line?
Yeah.
And then you just pull that tight. And you moisten it with your saliva. But what it means is you can push that up the line.
Yeah.
Or you can pull that down the line.
Yeah.
So you put the bit of rubber on first. And I bought a few small floats today. Just a little bobby cork, little baby one.
Yeah.
So I bought these, and so now I'm going to put this on by threading that through a bit further. Go and get in there. Comes out the other side. So now we've got our float. What am I doing? On the line. See that, Jet? See how the float stops?
Yeah.
Where that bit of rubber is?
Yeah.
So what happens is when your line goes in the water, your bait goes down and the float, it stops there like that. So that controls how far the bait is under the float.
Yeah.
If you would like your bait to be deeper under the float, then you just really push that rubber thing up the line. Last but not least, Jet, thank you for holding the goodies. I'm going to get one of these tiny little hooks. Look at that, it's a little baby, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know that saying, Jet, that big hooks catch big fish, but small hooks catch all fish?
Yeah.
So Jet's line's rigged up, so Jet can start fishing and then I'll rig my line up. So we have our float. We've got our little hook underneath the float. The float is free flowing. We've got our little stopper up there. And we'll just have a quick look at the rod and reel that we're using. This is just, it's a typical reel that I would use in the lake. Well, in this particular case, it's a 3000 size reel. You don't need a reel that big. You could use a smaller one. And this particular rod is 6'10" in length. It's rated 2 to 4 kilo. You don't need a rod. You could use a lighter rod than that, but really, you just need a rod that's about this long, about 6 foot long. You don't need a big rod, and it's certainly light enough. So now what we're going to do, Jet, we saw before that the fish were starting to come around, but we've been chatting and rigging up, so we need to chuck a little bit more burley out. Normally what I do, once I've used the crust of a loaf, at the end of the loaf, I just then use the crusts for burley. So I'll take the crust off because I like to use the soft middle part for bait. You want to hold that, buddy?
Yep.
So I'm going to use a bit of this crust to burley up again. We've already seen a friendly seagull out there trying to knock our bread off.
Yeah.
And he's waiting for some more. So he'll undoubtedly get some, but there'll be a little bit left for the fish as well. I'm just going to wet it a little bit because it will still float. Actually, I just saw a fish only just out there. So I'm just going to once again not have huge pieces and toss it a little bit to our left so that if it does drift with the wind, there's something just there. Look, I've hooked the bottom. Look at that. I've got one. Whoa. All right, I'll just chuck a bit of bread out. So chuck it out about there. All right, I'm going to toss this little bit of bread on the sand because we can use that for burley anytime. And now I'm going to show you how I put bread on the hook for bait. You probably already know how to do that, but you can let me know what you think. Okay, so I like to use the soft part because the main reason I like to keep it soft and supple is because you can mould it. Once it dries out, you hold that, buddy. Once the bread dries out, it's like trying to put a hook in it. You imagine what it's like trying to put hook in crusty bread. So I've just got a little bit of bread here, only because the hook's so tiny. Oh, that's a bit of rubbish on there. I'm just going to put the barb of the hook into the bread and sort of fold it around. There's not a lot there, is there? No. Just a little bit of bread like that. And I might just give it a tiny little squeeze like that. So then you can see the hook is hidden, or the barb of the hook is hidden within that bread. It's not a big bread bait, but that's a good size bait for mullet. When you put bread on, do you kind of do something similar, or what do you do?
I do something similar.
Yep, okay. Now I think that's a reasonable depth to start fishing at, so I'm going to let you have a go with that, Jet. You can give me that bread. And I toss your line out where you can see the bread that we chucked in the water floating. Yeah. And I'll let you get started and I'll rig my line up.
Okay.
Perfect. And look, you can put that in your pocket if you've got a pocket.
Okay.
And you can use that if you want to. If you lose your bait, you can rig it up again. Have you had anything exciting happen in recent times when you've been fishing?
Yeah, I've had, we went out on the boat, like out off Kiola, and I caught a nice gummy shark. It was, I think it was a meter. I caught that, and I caught because we had two hooks, I caught a flathead as well, a nice flathead
At the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, did you keep the gummy shark to eat?
Yeah.
And what was it like?
They're really nice. They're best fish I've ever had. We just crumbed ours, but yeah, you could probably do a lot of different ways.
So you got a double hook up with gummy shark and flathead?
Yeah.
Did you catch any other fish on that trip as well?
Yeah, we caught heaps.
Were you drifting?
Yeah. Caught snapper, we caught in the morning, and then like when it started to get light, we went flathead fishing, and I think we caught 20 flathead.
Wow. Do you know what the bag limit for flathead is?
Yeah, I don't know for sand flathead, but I know that it's 10 for dusky.
Yeah, those ones, they're a different type of flathead, the ones that you get
Yeah.
out when you're drifting. I think they're either a tiger flathead
Yeah,
or a sand flathead. Now I'm rigged up now, a bit of a bite.
yeah.
So I'm going to get a bit of bread and put it in my pocket so I can join Jet now. Question is, what type of fish will we catch first? Will we get our target species or will we catch a brim?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't want to catch a bird, that's for sure. Why don't you tell us, Jet, when you're fishing with a float...
Yeah.
Oh, I got a fish. No way. Oh, he got off.
Oh,
Would you believe?
that was quick.
I just chucked it out. I turned around and I couldn't see my float. It was gone. Oh well, I missed him. But I had him on. I think it was a mullet. So Jet, when we're using a float and we chuck it out in the water, what do we do next? How do we hook a fish?
Well, when you see the float go down, you just lift it up and...
So you've got to keep watching the float all the
Yeah.
time, right? Because you know, how do you know when the fish has bitten your bait?
Because you will see the float go down.
You see it go under.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. We're both watching our floats, waiting for a fish to pull it under the water, so we can then hook it. Man, I should have got that fish, that first one.
That would have been a good start.
Yeah.
Oh, where's my float gone?
I had a bite then too. It went under, but I missed him. I didn't hook him that time.
Yeah.
So whack another bait on. Oh, did you see that? It actually pulled line. I didn't even strike. My float just went like that, and it made the drag go. I got one this time. What could it be, Jet?
Hopefully a mullet.
Yeah, hopefully it is a mullet. It's fighting a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of aggro. We're gonna bring him in. Yes, what is it?
Mullet.
It's a mullet. There you go. That's a beautiful mullet. How's that, Jet? We've got one already.
Yeah.
You can see that little hook in his mouth. Well, you know, we've just come here and chucked a bit of bread in the water. We've been able to attract the mullet, so I reckon we should get a few, eh?
Yep. Hope so.
So I've got my bucket here. I'm going to put a bit of water in there, keep the mullet alive. I'll have to change the water every so often because I don't have an aerator. Whoa! Keep him nice and fresh. So Jet, we actually already, because we've got a mullet, we've already got bait.
Yeah.
If we wanted to chuck something else out, we could fillet him and put him out for something bigger, like a nice brim or a flathead or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I got another one. Would you believe? What is it? Whoa!
Another
Leaping out of the water. Wow. They fight quite hard.
mullet. Yeah.
These are quite good size ones. Here he comes. I'm going to lift him up onto the sand. Look at that, he's a little bit bigger than the last one. So that was 2 casts in a row actually. Yeah, he's a little bit bigger than the last mullet, this one. So I'm going to put him in there with the other one. Yeah, he's definitely a little bit bigger. Oh, as soon as my float hit the water then, the fish tried to eat the float. Got him. Oh, you know what I've got? Exactly what I said, a garfish. Look at that.
Got him.
Jet's got one. That's it. Well, it looks like it's a good one, Jet. That might be a mullet, not a garfish, I think. It's pulling too hard for a garfish.
It's a mullet.
Oh, look at that. That's a beast. Look at that. Oh, mate, that's a cracking mullet. Look at that. We've got a mullet. Got a mullet and a garfish. My goodness. I think he's the biggest one so far. So there you go, mate. That's what's nicking our bait some of the time.
Yeah.
There's the little garfish. What do you mean? Man, yeah, your mullet is definitely the biggest.
The garfish have a lot of colours. They're shiny in the sun, and this one has a little red. It has some red on the top. Yeah, they have lots of different colours and good for catching lots of fish. The type of fish you can catch on it, you can catch flathead. I've only ever caught flathead on them, but I'm sure you could catch a lot of other fish on it. You can put them live, cut them up, or get little fillets off it. To catch garfish, just how we were before with floats, and you can get them in potty traps as well.
Oh, he's got another one. He's on again, 2 in a row. Oh, it looks like a big one too.
Might be a brim.
Might be a brim. Let's see. It's pulling pretty hard. I'll get out of your way.
Oh no.
No, it's another big mullet. Look at that. Oh, he's fell off. Grab him. Well, I reckon it's mullet city out there at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I felt my drag go then. Did you hear that? Yeah. Not that I don't have it too light, but this is exciting fishing. Mullet are like little marlin. Yeah. They leap out of the water. They're actually quite, on light tackle, they're a lot of fun. Well, this is mullet number 5. 2 for you, 2 for me. Actually, this is 3 for me now. And a garfish. You know, these little hooks, you think these hooks are tiny, but they certainly work. I have made a mullet cooking video. It's on my channel where I cook mullet 3 different ways. And they're certainly delicious, the 3 different methods in that particular video. So if you're interested, you could have a look at that. I'll put this guy in there. Starting to get a little bit of a catch happening.
I think that's the biggest mullet I've ever caught. It's pretty big. We'll try for some more.
Well, we've already been successful, haven't we, Jet?
Yep.
Haven't really been fishing all that long.
No.
I don't think. I reckon you're going to get a bite pretty quickly, mate. You're right in the zone.
Might have taken my bait.
Fish, I brain spiked him, and now I'm going to fillet him for bait. So I'm actually going to scale the fish because I don't want to leave the scales on because they're a hindrance to the hook and the barb going through the flesh. So I'm going to scale him first. I'm going to hold him by the head. Just use my knife, very easy to scale the fish. Like that, so there you go, beautiful scaled bit of mullet. And then I wouldn't fillet him the same way that I would if I was filleting him to eat. I'm just going to cut straight through there and then turn on an angle and follow the backbone. I'm just going to run my knife along the backbone like that, and then if I flip that over, look at that, it's a fillet of mullet. So I've taken one side off this mullet. I'm just going to place him down here, and I'm going to cut. I don't want a big bait. This is all flesh here, there's no bones in that part. There's some rib bones, etc. on this side. So I'm actually going to cut this fillet in half on the side of the bones long ways, like that. So I've got a beautiful piece of fillet. I'll get 2 lovely baits out of that. So I'm going to cut that piece in half. That is probably about 1.5 to 2 centimetres thick, and that's about 12 centimetres long. So line. Okay, so I've rigged up a rod. I'll show you the rig, and I'm going to put this piece of mullet on. Oh, that's pulling line. Oh, Jet, just hold that rod up high, mate. Let the rod do the work. Hold it up high. Wow, that is not a small fish, Jet. I don't know what you've got there, but that's we better be gentle with that. It's a beast. Wow, it's taken off down sugar. Might tighten that drag just a little, just a that's enough, yeah. Let's just walk around this, actually, where's that line? I'll pull it in. Wow, that's a big fish. What is it? That's the question.
Just sitting.
The sinker's come up over the braid knot. That's what that is.
Just sitting there now. Oh, here it goes.
Oh, that's a big stingray, mate.
Is it a stingray? Oh,
Yeah, that's a really big stingray.
Oh,
Check this out. It's a beast of a stingray. Look at him. Look at the size of that thing. Just bring him, come over here. He's not a small one. Just bring him up onto the sand so we can see him, Jet. Oh. He's actually got a very, very long tail. We want to stay away from that.
yeah.
Oh, look at him. Yeah, I can see that. Woo! Oh well, we know what it is.
My teacher says it at school. He says,
That big, look at its tail coming out of the water.
yeah, he always says you're a stingray slayer. So, guess I am. It's only a little one.
I might be a brim this time.
Oh, what is it? Oh yeah, tiny little brim.
Oh, sugar.
It's a little brim.